Alan, the eve of a new season seems to have come around quite quickly since the end of the last one already. But I mean, first things first, how much are you looking forward to just getting stuck into the real stuff now with the pre-season friendlies all done and dusted?
It's really exciting, I'll be honest. It is. When I sit in here just looking out there now, what I'm hoping will happen tomorrow, it could be a really exciting time. It's been tough pre-season, both on and off the pitch. Obviously a lot to sort, a lot to fix, and a lot of incomings, outgoings, everything to deal with. And I just think we're getting there slowly. We've got we're in a lot stronger position than I would have anticipated when I come in with the quality that I brought in. We have lost some quality, don't get me wrong, which was disappointing, but I think with the ones that we've brought in, we've more than replaced them, fingers crossed, and we're still looking. So it's not the total squad we've got at this moment in time. It's never the case. If any manager says that he's got the squad ready, I think everyone knows that will not be the truth in that. So we know there's going to be a couple more additions, but we're constantly working on it. The lads are in a great place. They've been fantastic again this week in training, and everyone's really excited for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on the recruitment side of things a little bit there. I mean, how, I suppose, far away do you feel like you are in terms of being happy with what you've already got, but being happy in terms of the full squad picture and the depth and everything like that? Obviously, you mentioned still trying to get more faces in at the minute as well.
The biggest thing is obviously having good quality in the depth, which for me, that's going to be tough. Everyone knows the restrictions on the budget and stuff like that, so it's going to be a small squad. Like, nothing's changed on that front, and we've just got to be really creative in how we do that. So we've done quite well in what we've done so far, if I do say so myself, with what we've got in and being creative in that, on that part. But again, we're still not finished. We do need a couple of more players, and the positive thing is I'm getting players thrown at us left, right and centre, but they've got to be the right ones that we need. Will there be more outgoings? Possibly, to fund that, but that's where we are as a football club, that we've got to be creative, as I say, on stuff like that. But the squad the money will always be come back into to strengthen the squad, which is a big plus for me. We'll have some good meetings with the chairman and that, and they say we're in a much better place than what we were at the end of last season, on and off the pitch.
Yeah, and I mean, when we look at the opening game tomorrow, I suppose not many more difficult tests you could get against the side that narrowly missed out on promotion last year, and obviously the team that the lads who are still here from the end of last season played against in the last game here, the back end of last season. So how are you looking ahead to that as a test to, I suppose, see where all the boys are at come that first game of the season?
You couldn't ask for a better test, to be honest with you. Like, people say, oh, it's a tough one, but they're all tough in this league. But this is a great test to see where we actually are and see how far we have come from that last game of the season. And Southend will be up there again this year. Of course, we would love to be up there, without a shadow. We need a lot of luck on that regarding injuries and stuff like that. But this will be a real good marker for it to see where we are, and we want to get off to a flying start. Obviously, every team does. The lads in the dressing room are quite confident in how we're playing, the style and the structure that we want to play at, and everyone's bought into it, which is great. And as I say, I think if we can play to our potential, then we could surprise a few people, especially starting Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we touch on that first game tomorrow. I think it's a topic I'd seen sort of come up over the course of pre-season with yourself and whether you might have had a touchline suspension going into that first game. But just to clarify that there's nothing hanging over ahead of that tomorrow.
No, we've gone through it. We've been busy this week, double checking, triple checking with the FA, just to make sure that there's nothing there. And as far as we're concerned, I served my ban when I was at Darlington. I was still employed by Darlington until July 2024, so that took care of any bans whatsoever during that time. So, and even the chairman at Darlington, he's clearly wrote a letter to say that my ban was served while I was still employed by Darlington. So as far as we were away and the FA are away, the ban is now served, so I'm allowed to be on that pitch.
Yeah, and then, I mean, back to the actual football stuff. Obviously, ahead of tomorrow, you've had pre-season relatively successful in terms of results. Obviously, results aren't the most important thing when you look at pre-season and things like that, but how do you feel everyone has been building towards that first game, especially when you look at the patterns and what you're trying to put in place and how everyone's been grasping those ahead of tomorrow?
I just start to see them getting better and better, and I think if everyone looked at that Spennymoor game, when you're seeing some of the football in that game, it was really good on a good pitch. where you could play passing football. The Darlington game was a little bit of a tougher one. The pitch was sticky, it was long grass, and I think you could see the ball was moving a little bit slower, and Darlington's press was causing a little bit of a problem. But the thing I took from that game, I think it's the first time for a long time, I can't tell you exactly, that a Gateshead team's come from behind to win a game of football. So you might have to pull up the stats on that one. So it was great for the lads to get that off the back as well. So it just shows you that we've got rid of a lot of demons and we're in a decent place. But pre-season has been fairly comfortable. The biggest thing for me in pre-season, I've spoken to the lads, no one really gives 100% in pre-season. You never really see the full them in pre-season. You probably see 75% of them. But the biggest thing is there's no key injuries. There's no major injuries that's caused anyone any problems. We've got a couple in there with Ty, who's got a little bit of a thigh strain on one of his tendons in there. That was early doors. And obviously Callum with his ankle knock, which was a bad tackle. And that's something you can't do about, unfortunately. But touch wood that we've come through unscathed.
Yeah, and when you look at that first game, I suppose it's a bit of a strange one in the sense that you've got all that build-up across pre-season where everyone's looking to that first game and getting themselves up for it and looking forward to it. But how much emphasis do you place on that? I know Kenton said in his sort of programme bit about laying a marker down. It's probably a bit of a cliche that you hear, but how much emphasis do you place on that first game and that result? Because at the end of the day, I suppose it's one game out of 46 as well.
Everyone wants a good start. Everyone wants to get the marker down early doors and that, but again, it doesn't define your season. Your first game does not define your season, no way on earth. We've just got to make sure that we continue doing what we do and not get sucked into what others do, and make sure that we keep playing the football we want to play. I say I brought in players that will hopefully bring a bit more excitement and bums off seats, so to speak, and try and get that motto across. But again, it'll not be the end of the world, let's be honest, but ultimately we're out there to win every game of football. That's what we want to do. We want to win as many games as we possibly can and see where that takes us. But if that doesn't happen on the first day, it's not the end of the world. We will just continue doing what we're doing and keep building. It's where we'll be at the end of the season that'll count.